Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello and welcome to Footy Judge Mo people. Arsenal, after all what happened in the weekend, are called out by the PGML for sportsmanship or gamesmanship or whatever you want to call it. Chelsea actually claims lately that they are targeting third in the Premier League or maybe second. Rodri is out for the season. Does that mean advantage Arsenal to win the Premier League? We'll talk about that as well. How do rivals see Arsenal? We got Shez here to talk about that. And also Eric Ten Hag, of course, is under pressure and they are targeting Simone Inzaghi from Inter, who isn't leaving Inter for Manchester United. We know that he's not leaving Inter anytime soon. But big up everybody that joined us. Hit the like button if you're watching us now. And if you're watching us on the replay, like the video before you go in. Let's get to 400 likes live. Let's get to 400 likes on the replay if you're watching us on the replay. Of course, I got here Shez and Ashraf making his debut. How are you guys doing? Hopefully everything is well and good. It's going to be a calm, composed show. We'll talk about what is happening at the Premier League now. Madness happening in the last 2 days, of course, after the game. How's everyone doing?
Alhamdulillah, well. All good, man. Happy to be here. Thanks for the invite, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Listen, we gotta start by this Premier League calling Arsenal gamesmanship and all the stuff. Big up everybody that is in the chat, guys. Big up everybody that is here. Hit that like button, people, if you're joining us. I want to know what you guys think about that. So this is what happened. The Premier League clubs, the clubs now are against Arsenal. The clubs have sent concerns about gamesmanship and Arsenal repeated use of the dark arts throughout last season to the PGMOL. I'm going to start with Shez. Do you actually believe that at all? This is kind of crazy, to be honest, after the game, that after all the controversy that is happening.
Well, is there a report going around that clubs have complained about the way?
Okay, so the clubs have sent concerns about gamesmanship from repeated using of dark arts. It's crazy.
Who released this article ever? Is it actually?
Sky Sports.
It's the Mail Sport.
And wow. Sky Sports also tweeted it.
And Sky Sports. That's actually just crazy, actually. Like I'm looking at this and I'm like, are you serious?
Hey, cool. Let's just. I'm going to use logic and say it's not real, but let's just assume it is. If it was real, then that is ridiculous. That is actually ridiculous.
Okay, do you believe Arsenal use dark arts and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think everybody does. In every single game. Like,
isn't it part of the game? Isn't it part of the game?
It's part of the game. And the reason why, it's like one of those like unwritten rules you have like in general society and in general games. There's things you just don't talk about that just happen because they just need to happen. So, for example, if a promotional team comes up, Ipswich are winning 1-0 at Stamford Bridge. See a lot of players go on the floor injured. See the manager wasting time, the players waste time. It's how it is. Obviously, when you have an incident that happened yesterday or 2 days ago, and the stakes of the game, it gets heightened even more, and people complain about it. But this is just everyday standard high competition games. This is what happens. So people complaining about it, if it was to be true, then I'll call it out and say it's ridiculous. Because if my team's at the top, I don't want them to do dark arts and get the little margins and percentages to win the game. Why would you not want to? Like,
I don't know why people would complain about that. To be honest with you, I don't know why.
if it's
people
against
would
you, you're going to
about that.
complain. If it's for you, you're not going to complain. This is how it is, right? Life. That's just what super chat. So of course, like, people who aren't Arsenal fans aren't going to like the fact that Arsenal fans are happy about the corners, the shoving, the pushing, the fact that Declan Rice can get away with kicking the ball away. A lot of these like injuries that keep happening, things like that, people are going to be annoyed with. But it's just what happens. But the only thing I would say is the players on the pitch, if we're doing it and getting caught, that's where the line gets drawn a bit.
Yeah, but they are treated differently. I actually watched again. Yes, Trossard got the red card and everything, but we gotta be honest. There is too many things that Man City did in this game, and this is not me being against Man City. I watched clips and I watched a lot of things. There are a lot of things that Man City got away with. Haaland twice should have got a yellow card. They looked at him again with Gabriel and they said there is nothing happening. There are too many things that happen in the game as well that they are talking about. Why is Rodri rolling on the floor as well?
Are you suggesting then, by what you just said, that Man City get less criticism and less punishment for their dark arts than Arsenal do? Is that what
Yes, that's what I'm alluding to. Yes.
What evidence?
But I'm going to tell you what, Man City don't do dark arts. Man City just blatantly, because I know why. I know why. Because Man City have the position all the time. That's what people need to understand. That is just engraved. It's unconscious bias. You know what I mean? Man City have position of the football all the time. They're always seen as okay, that they won't do that because they have the ball. They are looking to score. They are looking to play on the front foot. That used to happen with Barcelona all the time when Pep Guardiola used to coach Barcelona. When Messi is there, you get my point, right? It's engraved in the referees. And I feel it's unfair sometimes. I'm not saying that Man City don't get anything against them. It happens every now and then. It happens, right? But more likely than not, the team that has position, right? And it's not against Man City. And by the way, the team that is winning most likely get the calls. You get my point? Manchester United, Juventus.
That's what I say to you. I think you're more alluding to a point of when a team is in favour, winning leagues has that advantage. That's just unconscious bias that people have. That's the general life in society. The more, for example, a celebrity can do the same thing a normal person would do. Because they're a celebrity, it gets overlooked a little bit more.
Yes.
Because they have status and they have clout. The same with football. But this is my thing, that if you complain about that issue, that's never going to be rectified because there can never be 100% correct decisions because it's human beings. So I understand people saying there's more of a bias towards one club than another, but in an ideal world, there'll be no incorrect decisions, but that's impossible. That's never going to happen. So I think this unconscious bias will always be a thing. I don't think you're going to get rid of that. So for me personally, yes, it's unfair. Arsenal may get the less rubber to green than Man City would, but you would expect from a team that's won 4 leagues in a row, a team that's at the top of the game.
But isn't that unfair? Don't you think it's unfair?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's always unfair because it's human beings in charge of making decisions, and they're never going to be 100% correct.
Yeah, but that's the reason, Shez, why they are in those positions, right? If you are in the PGMOL or in the FA, the whole point is you're supposed to remove that bias away, right? Like, I understand if it's a fan judging this situation. Of course, as a fan, you're never going to be able to take that element out. But if you are someone working in an authoritarian position, you have to take that bias out. One of the biggest things is, obviously, we spoke about the gamesmanship. I sent this link to the private chat. So BBC did a report yesterday, right, where they've analyzed which teams in the Premier League take the longest times to start a goal kick or free kick. So you will see the complaints about gamesmanship because Arsenal is top of the thing with 34 seconds. So we take an average of 34 seconds to start a goal kick or to restart a goal kick or take a free kick. Aston Villa is tied with us in first place. But the whole links and reports that the Premier League clubs are going against Arsenal for that. But then Aston Villa are top with us at the exact same thing. So there is a clear... I don't believe what Arsenal fans say. I think Arsenal fans sometimes go a bit deluded and say there's a conspiracy against us. I don't think there's a conspiracy against us. I think it's just incompetence. But I think because there are certain incompetent people in certain high positions, they tend to like overlook certain things. We see Howard Webb contradicting himself when he says Declan Rice has no business being next to the ball when there's a foul for the other team. But then when it comes to Doku, it's fine to go on. Oh, he says last year, Michael Oliver doesn't want to ruin the game by sending Kovacic. But then he sends off Trossard. So there's clearly like a clear incompetence there, which seems to be affecting us more. I don't think it's because there's a conspiracy or they're against us. I think it's just high-level incompetence. And if you are in that high position, I'm sorry, you should expect these people to not have that kind of issue. You should expect them to be fair.
I agree with everything you just said.
Can I ask you something, Shez, before you
No,
answer?
I
want to ask you something related to that. Before you answer that, do you actually believe that there is bias against Arsenal?
Yeah, that's that point. I feel like
yes, there's
something you just said there was interesting because you said it seems to be happening more for you. I don't think that's true. I think the issue is that because you're in a position where the stakes are higher and the percentages are smaller, the gains are really small compared to moving from 6th to 2nd or 4th to 2nd. You're now competing for that little margin in the league. All these decisions feel like they're going away from you when they don't go your way. Whereas if you take a mid-table team, for example, like West Ham, who played the other day, they should have got a penalty. But I don't think you would hear them say they're conspiracy against West Ham to not get fouls, get free kicks, because they understand that game in the height of the season isn't that deep. Was I believe
I hear what you're saying.
I believe because of the magnitude of the match and the stakes and the pressure and the feeling and emotion towards, and everyone's watching it glued to the screen, these decisions now, they're magnified a lot more because the stakes are a lot higher. Because the margin is smaller.
I agree with you, and that's why I even started by saying I think any Arsenal fan who says there's a conspiracy against us, I think it's just mad. But it's not even about yesterday's game. I mean, the Joao Pedro and Brighton game is a great example, like where one incident was overlooked, where someone booted the ball halfway across the pitch, and another one where a player just touched the ball outside. Like, I still think our players were stupid to do it, and I think both red cards were correct and deserved. Trossard and Declan Rice, but there's still clear inconsistencies. They're in the same game. I agree. It obviously happens to other teams too. I remember, like, I think 2 seasons ago, maybe last season, Wolves had like I think 3, 4, 5 games in a row or something where they had like horrendous decisions go against them.
Yes.
So I understand it happens to all
Brighton
the
last season were deprived from, they said 7 points as well last season, Brighton and Wolves. So I'm not sure if it's against Arsenal, but to be honest with you, if you look at the situations that happen because of the title race, because these are the two teams that are going against each other, right? It is magnified. However, Liverpool last season, I believe, that is my belief, that if Liverpool are given the penalty, that I think it was a correct penalty against Doku and McAllister, Liverpool would have stayed in the title race. Liverpool would have actually changed the course of that title last season, right? And they complained for a bit, but they didn't complain as Arsenal. I know that Arsenal, a lot of things people say a lot of things are going against them, but people don't call out the other things. I watched the goal that Gabriel scored, right, many, many times. And Arsenal fans, you won't like this, right? Last season, there was a lot of goals that were called out for blocking the opposition from going to the ball. Right? When a free kick is being played, Trossard moved toward Ederson, blocking him from going to the ball. But no one's spoken about that. And I watched it. And by the way, people say, oh, everyone is Arsenal fans cry. I actually watched the goal many, many times yesterday. If you guys want to go and watch it on Twitter, it's there. There is a difference between standing your ground and moving towards the goalkeeper. Trossard moved his back towards Ederson to stop him from moving. I have seen last season.
It was Martinelli.
I have seen last season goals called against Man United, called off against Man United and Manchester City for blocking the opposition from going towards, even though it was away from the ball.
And I think your point is.
But Arsenal didn't talk about
Yeah,
that because it wasn't magnified. You get my point?
I'm gonna say
I know that.
I'm gonna say Evans is you. I think your point is, people who don't understand what you're saying, is if you're going to complain about decisions as an Arsenal fan, you have to be then consistent.
But that's my point. It was called last season and it wasn't called. It's like even the Trossard thing.
Exactly. So
I can see it going both ways. You get my point? I see it going both ways. Right?
If you're going to complain and make the most noise about it, you therefore have to make the most noise.
Yes.
About the decisions that go for you too.
Because I've seen it called against and for teams. It's inconsistent as well. But because, and I'm being honest, because Arsenal lost 2 points in this game, right? And the red card, it is not spoken about in favor of Arsenal. But if it was the other way around, for example, it would have been spoken about. Again, for other teams as well, it is inconsistent. They looked at it in VAR and said it's now no foul. I guarantee you, this season, there will be another game and it will be called. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying you're inconsistent.
But I disagree more because, by the way, I call off a lot of Arsenal things. I think sometimes, as I said, we overlook, like the Odegaard handball last season against Liverpool. It was such an insane, clear penalty. It was not given for whatever reason. I think we've had like some cases where we were extreme. The Bournemouth goal against Arsenal when we were 2-0 up, and I think Solanke scored. For whatever reason, it was called off. It was a clear, correct goal. And so I agree. It goes both ways. I don't agree with the Gabriel goal should have been disallowed because first of all, it was Martinelli. It wasn't Trossard, I think, if I'm not wrong.
It was Martinelli. I apologize.
Yeah. And I don't think so. If you watch it, when Edison goes out, Martinelli, yes, he does go behind initially.
And he moves towards him, Ashraf.
No, wait. No, but before the collision happens, he turns his back and then Edison comes on him. Now, I get that what he's doing it on purpose, obviously. He's intentionally standing there so he doesn't come out, but he doesn't barge into him. What you're talking about, which is given, is when a player, like Ben White did it last season. He barged into, I can't remember the keeper, and the goal was ruled off because
it was a big game. I remember that one.
When the keeper was coming out, and Ben White barged. Maybe it was Chelsea. I can't remember. He barged into the No, it wasn't Chelsea. Not the 5-0. The other one.
Yeah, I think the rule was called. Draw,
maybe the goal was called off because Ben White barged into the keeper when he's coming off.
But the point is, Ashraf, is the inconsistencies goes both ways.
It goes both ways, 100%.
That is the point. What is wrong?
He's not talking about like forget the Martinelli potential foul, because Moan brought that up and I would probably differ to him and more agree with you, is I don't really think it's a foul, but arguably could argue the case, but I don't think it is. His point is that if you're going to make noise, the noise has to be consistent. That's what I'm saying. So if I'm going to sit here now and say, you know what, my tinfoil hat is on, I'm now going to have a big issue about refs, I have to be consistent when it goes for me. So I now have to call out and go, you know what, Somerville should have got a penalty. And I have to have the same noise I did for Somerville than I did for Haaland pulling Cucurella. I didn't think that was a foul. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, look,
the issue I have from the grapevine and what I hear, I do a lot of streams, every day mainly, I don't hear the same consistency. Because when it goes for Arsenal fans, I'm not saying they don't moan as much, but I don't really hear much. And when it goes against, they don't talk about the performance, they won't talk about the manager making wrong sides, they won't talk about Trossard or Rice kicking the ball away. They'll be, the ref.
Yeah. And that's do you not think that's consistent across all the top 6 teams?
I don't think it is.
I've seen all top 6 teams do it.
I don't think it is.
I think our fans do it more than anyone. I agree. I think Arsenal fans are the loudest.
I don't think it's all fans.
Actually, that's not true.
But I have seen.
I'm going to tell you why it's not true. Because in the season when Liverpool were going against Man City, oh my word, bro. It was a complaint after a complaint from Liverpool.
Yeah,
bro,
it was.
It's the team that is going against
the Rodri handball.
City.
You know what?
Come on now. It was, oh my God. It's the team going against Man City.
Complain about small margins. I hear it.
But you know, guys, again, I as I said, I don't think
it's not personal to Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal.
Yeah, it's not.
Whatever team's not winning, you're going to have to find a way, not excuses, 100%. But like a deflection.
But this is why I said I genuinely don't think there's any conspiracy thing. I think it's just incompetence. Where I have issues, though, and this is not just for Arsenal, it's for any other club, is when they come out saying there's going to be investigations on, or whatever, Premier League clubs are complaining about Arsenal's dark arts. That's where I have an issue, because why is it Arsenal? By the way, if it was United or City or any other club, I would have said the same thing. Like, I don't understand why this is becoming an issue now, as if it's only been happening now. Like, for years and years and years, lots of clubs do these things. Like I think Newcastle was known for 2 seasons ago being the slowest team, taking an average of like a minute to do a goal, a restart from a kickoff when a goal is scored against them or when they score a goal. So I don't get why it's spoken about now. Obviously, I guess why some Arsenal fans get a bit annoyed is in the emotion of the game and the way the game ended. When they see Haaland throwing the ball at Gabby's head and all that kind of stuff, and they see Pep kicking the chair and not getting penalized, they just relate it with what's happened with us. So they go like, well, we did something like that before and we got a red card. Well, Arteta did something like that and he was fined and suspended. Naturally, United fans or Brighton fans, as Mo said, or Wolves fans, they probably can say the exact same thing. But because they're in the height of that emotion of the game, they're going to speak about how it affects their team. But in the end, it's incompetence. I don't think it's conspiracy. It's just incompetence.
Hold on. Okay. You don't think it's conspiracy? A lot of Arsenal fans think, guys, there's over 300 people here. We really need the likes up. Arsenal fans disagree with you. Guys, hit that like button, people. We need 200 likes on the stream. You guys are slacking for hitting the like button. We really can't be less than 100 likes when we have over 300 people here, guys. Tanya here I think we're going to win the league. Chelsea. Tanya, we'll talk about Chelsea in a bit because there's just some mad. The problem is, I'm telling you what. I'm going to tell you what the problem is.
Big up, Tanya.
Is that always, I'm going to be honest here, guys. Man City have won 6 leagues out of the last 7, right? Always the small margins at the end, they win the league. And always the talking point
it's
is...
I think it's 8 out of 10.
No,
yeah, he said the last 7.
I'm talking about Pep.
I'm saying if you extrapolate it out further, it's worse.
I'm talking about Pep. But by the way, before Pep, I believe that it was completely different, by the way. But I know why. Because it's the Pep position-based football. When the team is so dominant, the referees, it's like engraved, bro, in their heads that this team cannot do any wrong. They have possession. They want to score. Why would they foul? Why would they do that? It's the other team that is defending. It's the other team that wants to stop the play. I think that's what happens. But my point about this is that the small margins go against Manchester City. Go for Manchester City, which is something I don't know why. But again, they are a resilient team. They go anywhere. But anyway, we're talking about the football then. Now Rodri is injured, right, for the rest of the season. Nobody's celebrating injuries, but Arsenal now have no excuses to go and win this league. You are in prime position. Why are you doing this face?
That's what I said yesterday on Cherry's stream.
What do you mean no excuses? Like what is that? But City also have no excuses.
I said this to a girl and girl gets very rattled.
I think why are people rattled when we say no excuse? Why do
we get I'm not rattled, by the way. By the way, before, you guys don't know about this. I said before the season even started, before the transfer window started, I said I think we can and hopefully will win the league. This is without even knowing what Rodri being injured.
Anybody can and hopefully win the league. I think
no, not anybody can.
I think we can hopefully win the league. Can. You get my point though. If we can all be pedantic and play full of words.
I'm not doing that. But I'm not doing that agenda thing.
You have zero chance of winning the league.
Villa, I actually think only 3 teams.
Liverpool, Arsenal, and City have chances of winning the league.
If I'm being extremely flippant, he said can and hopefully. So if he's using those words,
no. I said and hopefully we will win it. Yeah,
calm. That's not one here.
No. That doesn't work that way.
When Arsenal fans say,
is there advantage to Arsenal now?
Let me explain. When we say to you guys, because Mo said it and instantly raised your eyebrows. I don't know why, by the way, we did.
Once we say it, bro,
when we say no
something inside.
Because I'm just surprised. You just said 6 out of the last 7 Premier Leagues, and then suddenly no excuses. These are the same guys who lost Aguero, who lost Silva, who lost Sane, who lost Sterling, who lost Gundogan. They lost big players every season and still went on to win the league.
Let me tell you what I mean, yeah? Because
go ahead.
This isn't aimed at you. My first time streaming with you, but a lot of chat knows me and Mo knows me very well. Arsenal fans, I wouldn't say weak mentality. They don't know what it takes to win because it's been a long time. It's been 20 years since the Premier League. They've never won the Champions League. And the best trophy they've won in the last 20 years is the FA Cups, which isn't the pinnacle of football, even though it's a steam trophy. So why do I say that? I say that because when you don't win for a long time, you will take anything. When you don't eat for food for a long period of time, water and bread taste like caviar. So what I'm trying to say that is every single time you put responsibility onto an Arsenal team and say, you need to win the league. You need to win the league. It's been 5 years, 800 million plus spent, the same manager, the same system for the last 3 years, title challenging for the third season in a row. At what point do you need to win? Now, if you add the context, Rodri, who's a world-class player, I would probably argue Man City's just about second best player. You know who's the first. If he's out for the whole season, not half, the whole, at what point do your own fans and rivals, or Mo being neutral, need to say, you need to win the league?
I'm not saying you need. I'm different than him. Don't put words in my mouth. I'm saying, is there an advantage to Arsenal now? Is it going to be considered? That is the question. Is there an advantage to Arsenal at the current moment? Why do Arsenal fans, every time we put some pressure and saying you have advantage? I actually, before Rodri's injury, I said that Man City are the favorites to win the title. Rodri is the most important player at this Manchester City. We all agree. They literally lost the games without him last season. I know they won this season. But I'm saying that Arsenal now, there is an advantage for them. That is my talking point. I'm not trying to put pressure. Bro, I'm not in the players' ears, bro. I'm not. I'm saying that Arsenal now have advantage over Manchester City. Simple. Do you agree or disagree?
Okay, so I kind of disagree and I'll explain why. So before I disagree.
That is my point. You don't want to put the responsibility.
No, it's not. I'll tell you. That's the thing. Before answering that, to show you that I don't have anything about this pressure thing, I said before that I think we will win the league. Okay, so just to change the phrasing so Shrez is happy. I said, and I came on Saad's show and I said it as well. I also argued with my own Arsenal fans on Saad's show and said, I think we have very good squad depth. I think we're very good in attack. I think we're very good in midfield. And I also think we have the best defense in the league. And Raya, as much as I was not a big fan when he first signed him, has proven to be a very, very good keeper. So I actually think we're a very, very good, almost complete team. I just wanted us to get a striker because I believe Havertz is having a purple patch. I don't think it'll last.
You have a very good attack. Why do you need a striker?
Because I personally believe what Havertz has done so far as a striker is just a purple patch. I don't think he's going to continue that all this season, right? Arsenal fans and Arteta clearly...
I've never streamed with an Arsenal fan like you, apart from Northside, Brandon, no one else.
Yeah, no.
But here's the thing.
Crazy.
Wait.
It's crazy.
No. But also, because I've watched Northside and I've watched Brandon, big up to both of them. I'm also not very extreme because they will... I haven't, obviously, I've seen Lee as well. I don't criticize the club unnecessarily for everything either, because I'm also saying we have a very, very good team. We can win the league, and I think we hopefully will. Now, with that being said, now that I've made that clear, the reason why I don't think the Rodri, I think obviously, of course, Rodri missing is an advantage to us. It's an advantage to Liverpool in that sense that yes, they've lost their one of their most important players. You can argue if he's first, second, or third. The reason why but for me, the thing I fear about City the most, if you want to call it fear, or the thing that scares me about City the most, is not Haaland. It's not Rodri. It's not KDB. It's Pep, right? Because when they lost Aguero and Silva and all these guys, I genuinely thought the exact same thing. I'm like, that's it. It's done. They're going to fall. And every time when they lost Sterling, I'm like, this guy always freaking scores against us. It didn't matter. They lost Aguero, who always scores against us. It didn't matter. Gundogan, they lost... Obviously, I know Gundogan was just for one season, but they won the league anyways. They lost Sane as well, who scored against us, I think, a couple of times. It doesn't matter who they lose. This guy is that good. And you mentioned something, Mo, which actually backs up my point. You said they lost every single game Rodri didn't play last season, but then you added in the next sentence, but I know they won every single game this season. What does that tell you? That means Pep adapted. Pep understood, because they played Chelsea in the first game. So it's not like they played a crap team. Right? I know Chelsea were unlucky here and there. Jackson could have done better, blah, blah, blah. But it's still a decent team. They still played the team without Rodri, who was influential in them getting points against Chelsea last season. If you remember, he scored home and away against them, right? And they still got the win. So the fact that they have won every single game without Rodri this season, barring the Inter Milan game, obviously, that tells me that he's adapted and he understands how to fix. There is no better manager and no better team in the world that can adapt to a major player being injured. None outside Pep and City. This is why it doesn't change much.
What you said is extremely fair. So now let's go back to the question. I don't think you answered it. Is this an advantage for you? So you're saying no, it's not an advantage.
Okay, fair. In that case, if you're asking it in that way, I think it is an advantage because I think it's an advantage if they drop off like what they did last season. But if Pep fixed it, which is what it seems like he's done in the beginning of the season, then no, it's not an advantage because they're going to keep winning. So if what we saw in the first 5 games was not fluke, then there is no advantage.
By the way, I'm not getting your point. I'm sorry, Ashraf. Can you land the point? So you
My
don't
point
think
is
that you have an advantage?
I think Pep has fixed.
A bit of a...
No, I'm not. I'm telling you, I think Pep has fixed this issue of missing Rodri because last season, when he wasn't there, they struggled every game. This season, they haven't. Every game he hasn't been there, they've won. Which is why, if that's the case, and if he's fixed that issue, which I think he has, then I don't think it's an advantage to us because I think they're going to continue winning almost every game, right? I don't think they're going to have a drop-off. This Newcastle game they're playing next, away from home, if they end up winning that game, which is a difficult game to go to, St. James Park is always hard. That'll tell you that, without Rodri...
Should I just throw the towel then? Should I throw the towel?
No. Because I think we can beat them even with Rodri. I'm saying with Rodri, I think we can beat them to the league.
One question. You said before the season started, you think you could win the league and you're hopeful. But this was with the assumption of their fit squad. So if this is true, and they've lost Rodri and you still don't believe, why was you hopeful beginning of the season you could win the league then?
Because, Shez, I'm saying with or without Rodri, I think they will still perform well. And with or without Rodri, I still think Arsenal can beat them to the title. So if, for example, City were to end on 95 points this season, I think they can still end at 92, 93, 94 points even without Rodri. Because I think Pep is that good of a manager. However, I'm saying I think Arsenal can tip them to the title with that 95, 94, 93 points tally. Right? Obviously, it's not easy. But I think we have the team to do it.
I'm not really getting. Are you saying they're going to win the league? Wait, cool. I don't want to ask if they're going to win the league or not. I think that's a bit of a silly question.
Yeah, that's a silly question.
So let's do percentages. Let's do numbers. I like numbers, innit? So if before it was you're hopeful, so I'm assuming it was still Man City's favour. Let's just say 55-45 to Man City, using my numbers. What would you say it is now?
But that's the thing. I'm not using your logic because your logic is Rodri's gone, City will drop off. I'm saying
I never said that. I never said that.
Oh, then what does it matter if Rodri's gone or not? If you don't think they'll drop off anyways.
We're asking for your opinion, not mine. I want to hear your opinion.
Yeah. My opinion is, with or without Rodri, they will still win as many games as they would have because Pep will adapt. And with or without Rodri, I still think we will beat them to the league. I still think we can, obviously, but I hopefully think we will because I think we fixed 3 out of the 4 problem areas we had in the team.
But you know what? No one's answer. He's not even wrong. And none of us are wrong. Do you know why? Because they only lost Rodri 7 games last season. And all 7 games they didn't win. But at the same time, it's not a big enough sample size to say that he couldn't fix it for the rest. So in a way, we actually don't know. But what we do know is that Rodri's world class. And he's extremely clutch.
The best in his position.
And since he's been in this league, he's helped them and literally cemented them in this position. So you can argue it's a drop-off, but at the same time, you can't really argue with the money they have in January and the fact they got Pep. So I said on Terry's stream yesterday, it equalizes it because I feel like if, for example, I predicted Arsenal to win the league because I just thought they'll do enough. That's my opinion. But now, with Pep's brainhead, and with the last 5 games we've seen, I put it equal. So to be fair, I'm not even disagreeing with you. I actually think it's in the balance. It's hard to say.
And you know the annoying thing, Shez, is last season when they missed KDB, I genuinely believed that was advantage Arsenal because, especially when they came to the Emirates, because I'm like, that game, I know we won it. Obviously, Martinelli scored a deflected goal, but that game, for me, if KDB played that game, and I know Arsenal fans won't like me saying this, I'm not so sure we would have won because the way these guys struggle to create a chance against us, I think he's the kind of player who probably could have stood up there. And the fact that even with him being out for how many months was he out? 4 or 5? They still were top of the league or second until he was back. And yes, he came back and he made a big difference. He's the reason they beat Newcastle, brought them back when they were 1-0 down against Crystal Palace with that banger of a shot and all that kind of stuff, right? But even without, in my opinion, one of the best midfielders to ever play in the Premier League, they freaking Foden stepped up. So I just think Pep is that good of a manager that he will figure out a way for them to continue performing without.
You know what I would say, though, based on these last 5 games? I know it's such a small sample size, so it's hard to make any conclusion. I'm just quite stupid too. But you guys drawing against Brighton at home, stuff like that, if you do that this season, every other 5-6 games, that's what's going to stop you.
That'll kill us, 100%.
Because I'm deep in it. That had nothing to do with Rodri being injured or not, and you still have to. You see what
Bro,
I'm saying?
last season we lost the league. People keep talking about the City at Etihad. That was an excellent
City
result
had
for
a
us.
terrible top 6 record and they still won the league.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We lost the league because of Villa, because of Fulham away, because of
And
Fulham
Brighton's
at
at
home.
homes.
And
You see
no,
what
no,
I'm
Brighton
saying?
at home. No, Brighton at home. We beat them. We beat them
No,
home
I'm
and away last
saying
season.
like using the same logic.
Yeah,
of last
exactly.
season.
The West Ham at home last season when we lost 2-0.
If the Brighton
These
at
are
home
where we
this
lost the
season
league.
happens every other 5 games, you're going to lose the league.
We're done. Yeah, 100% we're losing.
You see what I'm saying?
My
So-
only.
Yeah.
But that was a red card,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm hoping our players, hopefully, I know Trossard hasn't shown that against City, but I'm hoping we don't end up, because before that red card, I didn't have any fear that Brighton are going to come back in the game. So hopefully, if we don't have these stupid decisions by our players, then I
That's
think
the
we
thing,
can.
though. This is the thing. I'm not expecting your team to have red cards, obviously, every other 2 games. But the fact that in both those games, Man City away and Brighton
Yeah.
at home, you were in an arguable position to win both games. You didn't. That
Yeah.
does say something. And the thing
But
is,
do you
if
not
it
think?
happens-
But
if
you
it
not think
happens
Arteta will
once-
fix
I know-
that?
I think, what's the point? I had a good point there. I think the circumstances behind Mo, you know what I'm saying? I think the circumstances behind it are controversial, the red cards, but I think the way in which it's happened is kind of consistent. Whereas, like, your team's in a good place, but you're not seeing out results. And I know the reasons behind it are very, very controversial. So, for example, Declan Rice might not have seen a second yellow card, or Trossard might not have seen a second yellow card for that challenge, and you go into the second half and you win it at Brighton, you win it at Man City, and you're sitting here on 4 points, no drop points. But the difference is that you drop points in both in a similar fashion. And yes, people will tell me Man City away from home, but then the same people will then tell me you could have won the game with 11 men.
I agree
So
with
it's
you,
like-
but here's what gives me hope, though, and here's what I think it's not going to be an issue. Last season, for the first half of the season, we were horrendous in attack. He kept playing this Havertz in the 8 experiment, which in my opinion is one of the worst decisions I've seen at Arsenal, right? We were 15th at some point in November or December. We were 15th in the Premier League table for big chances created. We were stinking 1-0 wins away from home. We won 1-0 against Everton, 1-0 against Brentford and all that stuff. And people are like, yeah, you're not going to keep going. You're not going to keep going. And he fixed it. In January, when he realized, you know what, it's not going to work, he put Havertz up top. He put Jorginho in the middle with Rice. He made those kind of tweaks. He played Kivior as a left back because he saw Zinchenko's costing us. We ended up breaking a record for most goals scored, which is why I feel that given that he's fixed some of the issues that he himself has caused, Arteta, I believe he will fix this as well. When we bottled top 4 3 seasons ago to Tottenham, I think we had the most red cards that season. And I remember he was so annoyed about that. And we spoke about that a lot. Next season, I don't think we had a single red card. Right. And then I know the season after we had red cards, but like it was very, very minimal. So I'm pretty sure he's going to fix it at some point, especially if
I
red
just
cards have
think
been because
if
we kicked
what
the ball
you're
away.
saying about Pep being a big brainhead, he could lose a world-class manager, and we're still sitting here going, you're saying anyway, that you still believe he's going to get over the line. It's a bit of an issue because, man, Arsenal...
No, I'm saying Arteta can get it over the line.
No, I'm saying, well, no, your point before was Man City still have Pep. So you still believe, based off last 5 games and based off them having Pep, he'll figure it out. Whether it be up until January or he'll get Kovacic in good form or Nunez will come out of nowhere, whatever it is. The point is, I keep going back to the same question. At what point then do Arsenal fans need to start winning? Like, when do Arsenal start winning the league then?
So can I say something? This is a very good question.
I don't know. I don't want to approach this. I don't want to approach this from the when will Arsenal win the league? The reason why I'm approaching this now, no. But I'm approaching this differently than you, Shez, to be honest, is are Arsenal playing a brand of football this season? Are Arsenal well equipped this season to win the league? Do we think Arsenal have the capability to go against Manchester City this season? On the evidence that the games have been played, Arsenal have played Spurs away, Aston Villa away, Man City away, and they're only 2 points behind. And in 2 games out of these 5 games, you went down to 10 men. Do we like the style of play? Maybe we don't. Some games we don't, because against Aston Villa, when they attacked, when they had possession, by the way, Aston Villa created the chances. But you remember, Aston Villa could have been 2-0 up. So my approach to this is that I'm not here to put pressure on Arsenal. I'm not going to talk about the football. Rodri is out now for Manchester City. Does that give advantage to Arsenal? Because Man City are weaker. Nobody, because no one is similar to Rodri. like no one is similar to Odegaard. That is the case. That is how we approach the conversation. It's not like, oh man, Arsenal need to win the league. Everyone needs to win the league. Everyone approaches.
Was anyone similar to Aguero before he got phased out? He was one of the best strikers we've ever
You know
seen
when
in
you
the
say,
league.
you know when you say this you know how this comes across, right? Or not? It comes across as excuses. That is the problem.
I'm saying we'll win the league with or without Rodri.
He's actually right.
I think when you say that, it comes across. And by the way, there is no one that is more important than Rodri in this team.
Yeah,
Haaland maybe, but
he might be right, Mo. That's why I came on here. I was having this same debate. I have a friend who obviously he works for City and he does the coaching. I think you've seen him on my channel. Mo, you've met him before once. So he's in the group right now as we speak, as we are watching this. I sent the link. He says from the beginning of this season, Rodri was not available, right? And the games that Rodri has played, we've drawn. Those are the games Rodri has played. Obviously, this is the Arsenal one, the Inter one he played, we drew, and then this Arsenal one, he got injured, we still drew. He says he's just counting that. It was actually Kovacic in that midfield with Bernardo Silva, KDB, before KDB dropped to the floor at Inter. So he's saying, if we are at top of the league and we're winning with even +3 goals, I know we didn't play such big teams or very teams that are like, we played Chelsea first, I think so. Then we played Ipswich, but played Brentford, who are difficult. Brentford always do one over City. All I'm saying is, I think even if Chelsea come to us, I am thinking that even if this tie, Arsenal tie, that goes away, people will be shocked. I think City might ending up drawing with these big teams. I don't think with Rodri missing, even if you look at the table right now, you're saying the same thing about Arsenal. They're missing Odegaard, they're missing this, and that's but that 2 points behind City. But you can also say the same thing. Rodri did not play any or most of the games. You want to play the Arsenal game. That was his first start. He never played any of the games until he got injured. So Kovacic is just unfortunate. That my hope in my heart is Kovacic can do the job, but he can't be trusted. Chelsea fans know he can't be trusted. At Madrid, you can't trust Kovacic to last the whole season. I think that's where the issue is. Because I think City can still find a way. Because KDB is coming back already. KDB has been training himself, by the way. I don't know if you guys know. He was actually training with the actual squad. Then he said training alone, but he's yet to come back again. And very soon KDB will come back for Oscar Bob. So all I'm saying is City will manage, but can Kovacic stay for that long? Gundogan at his age, can he still do it? That's, I think, the issue that we have. But overall, I think City can still manage. And he's right. People are just saying Arsenal right now can go through, but you might be shocked. City might actually do it again with Kovacic.
No one would be shocked. No one would be shocked.
But you see where I'm coming from, right? That the 5 games we played, Rodri played the Inter, we drew that one. Then Rodri played this one, then he went down.
Yeah, what I would say on this point is, I'll give you what you're saying, Patrick. Obviously, I said a very similar thing before you just jumped on that. We actually don't know the answer to this because we haven't actually seen Rodri out for a long time. And when we saw Rodri out last season for 7 games, you didn't win a game. That's just the 4-4 draws. I think he had a 1 or 2 losses in there. It wasn't that good. When he plays, he has an extremely good record. And when he hasn't played, he haven't. So if we use that logic, it's all doom and gloom. But like we just alluded to, you got Pep, who can figure it out. But we're more talking about, can Arsenal capitalize? And what I was saying before is, if they have more results like Brighton at home, then they just naturally won't. Because Man City will just do enough to always be ahead. At the end of the day, they didn't win the league by 5 points.
Yeah.
It was literally 2 points or 3 points. Or last season before that, it was very tight. So it's fine margins. So if Arsenal can get the fine margins in their favour, then they're going to win the league. But at the same time, it's on them to do it.
To add to your point, says if I'm on the off chance that I'm wrong, I don't think I will be, but on the off chance I'm wrong and Pep doesn't figure it out, let's say the first 5 games were an anomaly. If City, let's say, drop like, I don't know, 10 points or something in the next 7, 8, 9 games, then it would be suicidal of us to not have capitalized on it. Then yes, I'll 100% say, you know what, turns out he didn't figure it out. We better freaking win the league now, otherwise freaking sack him, right? 100%, I'll say that. But I don't foresee that happening. But let's say that does happen, and they do have a massive drop-off with Rodri gone and Pep doesn't figure it out, then yes, I think it's absolutely inexcusable if we don't win the league then.
I want to just let me do a couple of super. Luke Skywalker, hit the like, guys. We have 400 people here and we aren't even on 200 likes. The like button underneath your live chat is important, guys, for the show. It's important for the channel. If you're new for the channel, subscribe, guys. Let's get to at least 300 likes on the show. We have 400 people here, guys. Hit the like button underneath your live chat. Arsenal have a constant underdog mentality. Does everybody believe that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. It's funny because when I've seen other Arsenal fans like Igal and all like get slated for talking about us being one of the best teams in the world. How could he be saying things like that and suddenly we're underdogs? Like, I don't know.
That's
I
not
feel,
the,
by the way, I don't think it's Arsenal. I think it happens with every single club. I think. I remember 2 seasons ago. 2 seasons ago when United, Erik Ten Hag's first season, and they were going on a good run, and obviously we knew they were not going to challenge for the title, but there was a glimmer of hope that they're going to challenge because they were like 7, 8, 9 points behind City, right? And they were on a good run before they played at the Emirates and lost. And some of their fans were like, no, we have no chance. We have no chance of doing that. We're little.
So
they were playing underdog mentality too.
You have to put.
I think there's been a bit of difference. Yeah, the reason why is
it was our first season challenging. It was our first.
It's literally what I'm saying. It's literally what TBG is saying. To be honest, just be honest. Like
all it is
they back their team. You guys said
exactly.
Oh my god!
You got 2 sides in the mouth. They'll be like, we've got the best team, but then you'll be like, are you gonna win? They'll be like, oh, maybe. That's the issue. So. If you have the best team,
I didn't say we have the best team. I didn't
say
we have the best team.
I'm not saying you did. I'm saying if you were an Arsenal fan, you mentioned the Gal, and I have seen him, and he'll say to me, "We got the best this, best that, we got the best this, best that."
Yeah, that's stupid.
A Gal, are you gonna win the league? He'll be like, "Yeah, maybe." And I'm like, "That don't make sense."
No, that's stupid. I agree with that. If we have the best attack, best midfield, and best defense, then there's no excuse for us to not be.
They definitely don't have the best attack when their striker completes 0 passes in 90 minutes. That is
come on, stop. That's disingenuous. Stop it.
How is it disingenuous?
By the way, I think we have a very good attack. By the way, I think we have the second best attack.
Hold on.
Second best attack. No,
hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Ashraf, why is it disingenuous when he had 45 minutes? You were playing 11 men against 11 men, and he completed 0 passes. He wasn't the striker, was he the midfielder?
I agree.
Which makes it even worse, by the way. But
Mo, I agree, but that's still, even if you want to say that's the whole game, even if we played 11 versus 11, that's still one game. By the way, I already said I don't trust Havertz. I think it's just a purple patch. I know Arsenal fans get annoyed. I think that. Yeah, I agree, but it's still one game. Timber, by the way, is a very good fullback. He didn't complete a pass either.
You're doing too much talking. You're doing too much. It's one.
Are you saying Timber is shit? Are you saying Timber is shit?
No, Ashraf, I'm not saying he's rubbish. I'm just saying
Ashraf. I'm not saying Timber shit. Timber is a fullback. I understand sometimes the ball never went to his side.
Who completes more passes in a game? Timber or strikers? Fullbacks or strikers? Who completes more passes?
Timber normally isn't as involved. Timber isn't a brilliant footballer, as people say. Timber is a tough guy, can pass the ball, can go forward.
He's a better
footballer
than Havertz. I generally think he's a better footballer than
this is crazy.
No, that's crazy now. Now you're
I think Timber is a better
Okay, hold on. For Tevin, I know you are in the chat, and I see your comment, Tevin. I'm sorry, I see it on the other screen. You really think it's just banter? I want Ashraf to say what he said again, so to know it's not coming from me or Chez or Patrick.
Okay, I'll explain to you.
Can you just say the statement again?
I think Timber is a better overall footballer than Havertz. I don't know why that's insane.
Based off what?
Wait. Mo, you called Havertz a donkey in many streams.
Forget my opinion. Okay,
so why you shocked?
By the way, I get called out every single stream by viewers and by friends and by panelists.
Okay, I'll tell you why.
Actually saying that.
I'll tell you why.
By the way, I am deluded and I have agenda against Havertz. That is so forget me. I'm not an Arsenal fan. I like Saka, I like Rice, I like Odegaard. Forget
I'll tell you why. Because for me, from what I've seen from Timber in this few games, I think he controls the ball better. I think he dribbles with the ball better. I think he's quicker. I don't know about the pacing, but he runs with the ball faster. I think he's a lot more composed when he gets the ball under pressure. I know people said in Ajax he's played on the DM as a DM couple of games and he got the ball under pressure and gets it out. I haven't seen it at Arsenal, so I don't know. But in the games I've seen him play at Arsenal, I think the way he plays with the ball at his feet is a lot better. Obviously, I'm not going to compare him defensively because one is a defender. That's his job to be better.
Can I ask you one question though? Let me just ask you as we're here also. Who do you think is a better is a better footballer, as you say, between Zinchenko and Timber?
between Zinchenko and Timber.
Oh,
I mean, overall,
easy.
of course, I'll say Zinchenko is better on the ball. He is a better footballer overall, but no, I would still tip it to Timber because for me, while Zinchenko is better on the ball, but Timber is a lot better defensively.
No,
but
I don't
it's
think
not
Rodri-
only. But no, hold on, Patrick. So that question is not right. For example, who's a better footballer, Odegaard or Gabriel? Odegaard. But Gabriel overall as a defender footballer is better. You can't compare Timber to Zinchenko because Timber as a fullback is better than Zinchenko. Simple.
Yeah, but
that is what it is.
We're talking about footballer. We're not talking about. Look, this is the thing.
No, but we're not here. Patrick, we're not playing. We're not playing five-a-side here. This is an 11-11 game.
That's
each
why
one
I'm
on
saying
the each one on the pitch.
It's a funny thing.
Each one on the pitch have a rule
Why
to play.
speak I say though? Don't insult my baller.
Okay, let me. Olu here is saying the biggest X factor is Pep. Never bet against him.
Yeah, true.
Agree.
Okay, I want people to see this comment. Okay,
False.
you guys know Olu. You guys know Olu. He's on the channel all the time, right?
Big up.
Victim
And
mentality.
I'm talking to all the Arsenal fans that always talk to me and say, "Mo, you're deluded. Should we throw the towel?" If Olu, the Arsenal fan, is putting this comment in, but when we say Man City are favorites, they're gonna win it, blah blah blah, you say, "Should we throw the towel?" How is it if an Arsenal fan is saying this? The biggest X factor, never bet against him. How does
Olu,
it look?
maybe.
Ashraf,
hope Olu, if you're
saying,
By the
saying
way,
that-
Olu is a very positive fan, and we know.
he's
who.
Yeah.
He's like, again, we speak to him. So Olu's very like,
Yeah.
very defensive. Any hot markings, no. Him and Dyer are the same boat. The issue I have is they'll talk at two sides. They'll slate Chelsea, they'll slate Liverpool, they'll slate all these clubs who aren't challenging. You're challenging at the top. You think you can win the league, but then you'll come out with comments like this. How does that make sense?
Since you're in the comments, Olu, maybe you can like comment. Do you think because he's saying,
I actually can send him the link right away.
Yeah, please, because I don't
send him
think
if he's available.
If Olu says you cannot bet against Pep, but then he says Arsenal are the favorites and all that stuff, then I do find that disingenuous and weird. I don't think he would say that. But at the same time, I don't think he would say what you said, Mo, because I've seen some of the streams with Olu. I don't think he ever said, let's throw in the towel. He actually thinks we can win the league. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, Mo's disingenuous when he says that.
You're just slandering him for no reason. Because I've seen
don't do that.
What do you mean?
He never actually said we're not going to win the league.
He never said we cannot win the league. He never said throw the towel. I don't
know. Hold on. If someone is saying never bet against him, what is that? Hold on. Am I deluded here?
Because you mentioned, he's responding to you because you mentioned now that Rodri is gone, does that mean now City are at a disadvantage so that Arsenal can...
100% I am still doubling down on it.
Okay, but he's telling you
hold on.
He's telling you you're wrong.
I am doubling down on it. If Rodri is out for the season, Arsenal, with the games played, should have the advantage now. I am changing. Because remember, before the Gundogan signing, I said Arsenal I pick Arsenal to win the league, right? And with the Gundogan signing, it changed, right? Now Rodri is out completely. So it's not about rest now. Amazing. It is about finding a different solution. And why is that hard? I don't get it.
No, fair. So I'll ask you a question more.
Like, why is that
okay,
so,
fair. It makes sense. So I'll ask you a question more, and please answer this honestly, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's assume.
Are you calling me a dishonest person? Yeah.
No. Of course not. Patrick, you guys ended on 91 points. You ended on 91 points last season, right?
Yeah.
So let's say City end on 93 points this season. And Arsenal end on, I don't know, how much we do last season? 89? Let's say we do 92 points. Are you going to say Rodri was not there, so Arsenal should have capitalized? Because City would have done better than what they did.
Context, Ashraf. Context.
Mo, let me ask that question.
Which I don't know what question, but I'm doing the super chat. So I want to respect the people that pay their money. I know that we're going to put the comment up. I can highlight it. Which comment it is?
Do after.
Which comment? Ask Chez from Jack. From Jack?
Yeah, after the super chat, so come. Yeah.
Yes, please. Okay, my point is context, but also I'm really waiting, and I'm gonna do the super chats. I am waiting to see Arsenal playing against different oppositions than the ones they played against, because I believe that the sample size and the teams you played are not an indication of how strong you are. against Aston Villa, you dominate position, but it wasn't fully like you weren't convincing against Villa. However, if I was my team, I will take these 3 points against Villa away because Man City lost against Villa away, Arsenal lost against Villa away, right? So I will take the 3 points. I will be an honest guy and I will say I'll take it. But against Brighton, circumstances, the red card. Against City, circumstances, the red card. Against Spurs, no one presses against Spurs and plays their brand of football. So I am waiting for you to play the likes of Wolves away. You know what I mean?
Brentford
away. I'm waiting for you to play Chelsea away. How are you going to play against Chelsea away? I'm waiting for you to play Liverpool. You're gonna, you know my point. Man United away. Are you going to do what Liverpool did to Man United away?
Anfield.
No, hold on. Even Man United away is a big indication. You know why Liverpool? I am putting Liverpool in the conversation. When you play your derby, your biggest game in English football, away from home, and you dismantle them the way you are, that means you're serious. You get my point? It's a statement win. That is why I'm waiting for Arsenal to play these teams. And it's coming. They're coming. 1 month, 15 games in. We'll see. We'll see if this way of playing that we are all criticizing Arsenal for, defensive, counter-attack, transition, you are not as dominant, is just because you played these teams, or that is a way of playing now. That is what we're seeing.
Can I ask you?
Same, by the way, same for Man City, by the way. You guys know that Man City conceded the same amount of goals.
What are the big games in the Champions League? What's the big game in the Champions League?
They play Inter. I think they play... By the way.
Oh, wait. They're going to play Inter. Inter versus Arsenal.
Yes.
No. Yeah. We play Inter.
I think...
No, wait. Our next game is PSG.
No.
That's our next game.
By the way, I won't judge any team this season about the Champions League for one reason. This new format of the Champions League means that teams don't rely on one game. One game won't make a difference for you. You can lose 3 games and win 5 games and still go through. You can actually win only 4 games and go through, by the way. It's crazy. The new format favors that you can throw away games easily and win the easier game.
Group stages as well back in the day. With the tables, it was the same thing. If you'd won,
it's not. I'm gonna tell you. How many teams go through? Shez? 24 teams go through.
No. I know this, guys.
It's crazy, actually.
I know there's more teams in the Champions League now, and there's a league format, so you could literally, like Mo said, win 3 or 4 games and you're through. But I remember the group stages one with the table. If you'd won like 3 games, the last 2 games.
Yeah, but that is hard. But that is hard. Why is 3 games? That is hard because you. It's play
still
3
hard
games
to win 4 games now.
It's not that hard when you play pot 4 twice and pot 3 twice, and some of them are at home. Some of them are home. We'll see. We'll
move on.
Let me do the super chats because there's plenty of them. We called out Olo and he joined. So who does City need to lose for Arsenal to be favorites? Very simple. By the way, it cannot be more simpler than this.
Pep Guardiola.
Oh, please.
And that's what we're talking about, guys. Wallah al-Azim, this answer is what we're talking about.
He's got caught. Literally.
This is what we're talking about.
But this is why I asked more questions.
This
is why I asked more questions. Or maybe, my mistake. Maybe I didn't phrase it properly. So I'm going to phrase it.
Then.
And I hope you answer it.
Hold on. Fuck it then.
Let's give up.
If Pep tomorrow signs 3-year contract, fuck it then. Fuck everyone. Bye. See you later.
No. Okay, I'm going to ask you the question, but I'm going to first respond to that last
statement.
They did. His eyes light up.
No, guys. I'm saying with Pep being there and with the same Man City players and Rodri, I'm still saying we can and hopefully will beat them to the league. However, it doesn't matter. Even if we freaking signed Mbappe, you cannot rule out Man City. That's stupid. It's like
100% no, bro.
It's like saying one sec. And now it comes to the question, Mo. You said if Rodri leaves, if he's out for the rest of the season, that's advantage Arsenal. Yes. So come end of the season, I know hindsight is 2020, but come end of the season, if City get more points than what they did last season without Rodri, are you going to come out and say, you know what, I was wrong. There was no advantage for any other club?
I will say that. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. So I'm saying, so that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm beating you to the punch and saying that's what's going to happen.
Pep Guardiola have proven a lot of people wrong before. So
So I'm beating you to the punch.
However, people need to understand something. We don't read the future. What I mean is that we have a sample size. we have 2 seasons, and very simple. We analyze what we see to try. This is how science works. I know we're all smart here. You analyze the past to try to predict the future. Do we actually know for sure what happens in the future? No. But that is our job.
Because you can never know what can happen to Arsenal too. You can never know what can happen.
Exactly. What if Odegaard's injury, I don't know if it's like 2 or 3 months, or they haven't given exact timeline. What if it's 3 months, and in those 3 months we don't figure things out, and we drop way behind City? We can all play that game.
Yeah, it's very. Or you lose Rice, or you lose Saliba. And that changes the equation.
No. But forget injured Saliba and Rice. Let's say with Odegaard out now, because Odegaard is actually out now. That's the fact. Let's say Saliba and Rice don't get injured. If Odegaard is out for 3 months and we don't adapt and we drop behind, then isn't that the same thing? But you're not taking that into the equation at all. You're just saying,
let me. I'm gonna continue, guys. I'm gonna continue the super chats. Appreciate the super chats, guys. You guys making. Hold on. You guys are making this more interesting. But look at this. Terence is saying exactly what I'm saying, and I want Olu to respond to this. You're fueling the underdog allegation, saying that it's Pep that has to go.
So first of all, I don't ever think Arsenal are underdogs, right? I see us basically on par now with Man City. That's my point of view, right? I see it's blow for blow, right? So when I say Pep, what I mean by Pep, blow for blow, yeah, this point is blow for blow. And the past 2 seasons have shown that actually Arsenal getting closer to Man City is not a wide gap. And even if you look at it last season, like over the course of the season, Man City won 1 trophy, right? They made 1 final, which is the FA Cup final. Granted, that was further than Arsenal. But apart from that, we went out to the same stage in the Champions League. I think you went 1 round more than we did in the League Cup, basically. So when I say blow for blow, what I'm saying is that at this point now, I'll say it's 1A, 1B.
Difference, Ollie.
I'm saying it's one. No, but I'm saying
that's a league, a final, and the extra
League
round.
Cup. Yeah, okay, but it's not as massive as it was.
And the World Cup, and the World Cup,
and we beat, and also we beat them in the.
Ollie, you can't say it's not. Wait,
stop.
I'm not trying to be rude, but you can't say it's not a big gap when they could have won a double last season. And you won nothing.
They could, but they didn't. We could have won the league.
They still won the Premier League.
But we didn't. I'm just saying they could have doesn't change the fact.
Okay,
they won the Premier League.
So let's go. Let's continue.
So when I say at this point now, it's 1A and 1B because the points tally is closer than ever, right? If it was 15 points, I would say it's 1-2. The fact it was 2 points last season makes me think it's 1A, 1B. But when I say Pep, what I mean by Pep is this, right? It's not that I'd say that Arsenal, and I'll say the favorites always goes to the champion. In the same way, in a boxing match, the champion is always the favorite, right? So the favorite goes to the champion, unless they fell off the cliff. Now, when I say Pep, what I'm saying is that I believe that Pep's genius is so good, he can counteract most issues that he has. But I also think that Arteta is at a point now with his team where he's got the flexibility with his team to play different types of football. So I'm not going to just strip away favorites from Man City because I think that is disrespectful. That's saying basically that Pep's system only works if Rodri's in there. That isn't true. And we all know that. We're lying to ourselves if we say that because the man is a bald, evil genius. And we've seen that he's won the league, almost every year in the
13 out of 16.
Yeah, don't forget he benched Rodri once and played Gundogan as a DM when Fernandinho was injured. Yeah,
exactly. So if what we're doing right now sometimes is that we're boiling down to think about it basically in terms of just saying that if Rodri is out, all of a sudden there's no chance for Man City or the chances reduced. No, I think that Pep is the main person we need to worry about. But I personally believe that Arsenal are good enough to win this league. And I think I believe Arsenal will win this league. That's the fan in me that's saying that. But also, I just think there's more flexibility to this Arsenal team. And I said to Mo before this match, I said, if Arsenal went down 1-0 in the first 10 minutes, I thought we would lose the game. The fact that we didn't lose the game changes my mentality on this Arsenal team because I thought that 1-0 down, it would turn to 3-0. That's what I believed. I thought that we hadn't gone through that sort of adversity as a defense to see if they would just hold on. The fact they got to 2-1 and then held up to the 90th minute, for me, makes me look at this Arsenal team differently. People might look at it and say it's Stoke football, it's Tony Pulis football. What I look at it is it's intelligence finally. And the one thing Arsenal used to be accused of in the past was not having players who, when the going got tough, were able to stand up. Now I think
you know what it is? I've heard that point reiterated, I think, 2-3 times now since Sunday. And that point, the issue with that point is, it feels like Arsenal fans are living in the past too much. Because I've heard 2-3 times, Mo, that Arsenal fans are coming out with, has the mentality shifted? We didn't get battered after 1-0 down. You shouldn't be getting battered after 1-0 down. You've been title challenging for 2 years. If you rate your team that highly, I don't get why this game is why people are saying that.
Because the odds,
in my opinion, I think that's a false positive. If that makes sense. Because like, why would you expect your team to get battered if you're 1-0 down to a team you beat 3 times in a row with?
Because the history, no, and also the history of what we've seen most times when we've played Man City has been, and also part of it's PTSD, right? As fans in general, no matter what team you support, there's always an element of PTSD. What's happened in the past is going to repeat itself. It's a logical fallacy that shouldn't exist. But the reality is that, you know, you think, well, we've seen Arsenal go 1-0 down, also down to 10 men against Man City and lost 5-0. Why do we think the advantage now is Man City at home with a crowd behind them, with the best striker in the world? Granted, they lost the best midfielder in the world. That is the sort of mentality that seeps into the fans. What you're seeing is that actually the players are not reacting in the same way the fans are reacting. And that's what changes the Arsenal fans' mentality. Because I always say this, no matter what noise we say here, the players have to believe what they believe. And if they believe they're good enough to go out and say, you know what, even if we go down to 10 men, we can still take these guys on in a different way of taking them on, and we can come out with something, then that changes the belief of us as Arsenal fans. 2 years ago, when we started singing, you know, about Arteta and how he's changed the club, the reason because the proof started to show that actually from the team who was struggling to make top 4, was finishing 8th, to the team that was finishing 2nd and could have won the league, was a massive difference. And
can I ask you something before I forget? Just one thing. I'm sorry for disturbing you.
No,
when is Moreno and Odegaard coming back? Because I forgot you also have got that Moreno dude. Is it Moreno? Whatever his name is, Moreno.
Yeah, Moreno. Yeah. He's in gym apparently. It'll only be after the next international break. Apparently, that's what they said.
Okay, so that also brings in more strength into the midfield, isn't it?
100%.
Okay, that looks like a great team. So maybe Mo is right that with the fact that Rodri is down and City only have got Gundogan and Kova, who I said. Kova, you know yourself from Chelsea. Kova cannot finish his. I'm not trying to jinx him, but sometimes can't finish the season. Yeah, and Gundogan, he's 33 years old. This is not the Gundogan who was playing DM at 30 years old, you know. So I don't know. It's looking peak at the moment. Obviously, we've got Nunes. Maybe Nunes will step in because he used to play. Remember, he used to play double pivot. So maybe Nunes will be a hero. You never know. City, Pep is crazy. He can motivate a player that you think is done. So go ahead.
That's
anyway.
The point. Yeah, but I think to your point, Patrick. That's why I'll say, when we say favorites, right? Favorites means that, like, if you'll put percentage, I'll say the percentage-wise now of Arsenal, Man City, if we just those two, I'll say 53-47 between those two. It's not quite 50-50. Sorry, let me just finish. I'll just finish this point.
To finish this point, because I need to finish the super chats because we need to move on to Chelsea, to be honest.
I think that it's like I said, the gap is closer, but I'll still always give the edge because of who Pep is and what I've seen from the first time he stepped into Barcelona, and I've been watching him and seeing him create teams that do different things. So I would never take that away from him. I doubted him 2 seasons ago, and I said that's the last time I'm ever going to doubt Pep. So that's the reason
Let me do
why.
the super chats because there is a lot we need to respond to in these super chats. I want to appreciate everyone that is making the conversation happen. Ian is saying, so what does City lose? We did this one. Kevin is saying, big up guys. Is City and Gunners only once in EPL? I don't know what that means, Kelvin. Big up guys.
I think City said the only ones that we're not considering teams like Chelsea.
No, Liverpool are there, and I'm gonna come to a couple of super chats. We're absolutely there. Liverpool are there. Why not?
What about Chelsea?
I don't get this Liverpool mentality of we're underdogs. Yes, you are the least favorites, but in the same time, you are there. So come on now. Thank you so much, Kelvin. You said our season was done 2 weeks ago. Now we're favorites. I am telling you, Hybrid Ultra. I said Odegaard out, right? And I'm responding to you now. With Odegaard out and Rice, I thought you would lose the Spurs game, and I thought you would lose against City, and you proved me wrong. So that actually emphasizes my point, not your point. So Arteta changed the way you play to win against Spurs and draw away at the Etihad. So basically, instead of having 0 points, you literally got 4 points and made City drop 2 points. You proved me wrong about this. How hard is it? I can come here and say I am wrong. And I was wrong about this. I was wrong. For me, I saw Arsenal, and still, I still think you haven't created a lot from open play, right? But Arsenal found a way, and your set piece coach needs a big shout about this.
And Mo, what did I
So,
say before? What did I say before? I said Arteta is paid the job to figure out the problem,
Thank
solution to
you.
the problem. And so, and 2 games ago before the Tottenham game, I said even if Rice isn't on the pitch,
Is he
go and win
frozen?
your games. Me? No, I'm not frozen, am I?
No, you're
No.
not.
I'm good. Okay. I said, yeah, if even if Rice is not on the pitch, Arteta needs to go and find a way to solve that problem. You are paid, you're the second highest paid coach. It's your job to solve the problem. So that's why for me, I don't believe in an excuse. I don't believe in we've lost this player, that player.
Well, see.
Next man up. That's for me. Next man up.
Mookie here is saying, imagine Liverpool sneak in and win it. Crazy shit. I would love that. I'm just saying it here. I would love for Liverpool to win it. Mohamed Salah winning.
We would.
Arne Slot, I would love that. Mookie, if Liverpool sneak in and win it, I promise you, I will celebrate. But I think you have an outside chance of this. You have an outside chance of this, to be honest. But it's not as bad as it. Liverpool can win it. They have a chance of winning it. Terence is saying, no KDB or Rodri, we do look like favorites, not gonna lie. Terence, no, but KDB is coming back. And also you don't have Odegaard. So I'm gonna push back on this. Arsenal now have an advantage, okay? But also it is not like, when I say an advantage, why do people think when Shez is saying, or me, or Patrick is saying Arsenal, like we think it's 90% you. Maybe it's, instead of Man City having 55%, it's now Arsenal 55%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said 55.
Like, people have to take it like, just think about it this way. I think, because we sit here every season and say Rodri is the most important guy, Rodri for Ballon d'Or. Okay, Rodri is missing now. Doesn't that account for something? It has to. D. Brown, Arsenal fans, stop arguing with rivals. Why? It is pointless. Nothing is ever good enough. They would rather City become Bayern of EPL than see us with chest. I completely disagree with you, 100%. I actually want anybody to win the league but Manchester City. And I said
he did address rivals. You're not a rival.
Yeah. I don't think he was referring to you. I think he was referring to Shares or Patrick or any other like.
And I think everybody should come together for Man City if this league turns into Italian league.
I hear what you're saying. If they won 5 in a row,
bro, but it ruins the league. It ruins the league.
Yeah,
but
genuinely, I'll ask Shez this question because maybe it's more applicable to him, right? I understand what you're saying. 5 in a row is bad, but let's be honest. Given the Arsenal fans you know in your life and around you, would you rather City win the league or Arsenal? Because you'll have to tolerate Arsenal fans for a year.
If someone said to an Arsenal fan, you
now
won't
we
win
worry
the league
about the
this
fans
year.
instead of worrying about the facts.
Mo, switch.
I
We worry
agree
about
with
the banter.
Mo, but
Is this is how
Mo,
social media turned
you
us
have
to be?
stop
I
this, bro.
agree
You're
with you.
You don't understand because
To be honest with you, I don't understand.
You don't understand. Forget where you live because obviously I live in London. So obviously I see it way more. But if someone said to an Arsenal fan, "You don't win the league this year, but Chelsea win it next year and break the chokehold," they're not going to be like, "Yeah, that's calm."
Yeah.
They're going to be like, "What? I want to win the league."
It's the equivalent of AC Milan winning it all the time.
Juventus next year. And vice versa. I don't want Arsenal to win it.
Yeah, but that is different.
By the way, I want to make my.
You guys don't understand.
I
don't mind Milan winning it. Okay.
Okay, fine.
If
Juventus
means stopping Juventus.
Exactly. So let's flip around. So imagine Juventus.
So you have a team as well, then. What do you mean? You also have a team that is like the same way. It's just not Milan, it's Juventus, but you still have a team that you're like, shit, I'd rather we lose than this team winning. But by the way, I was gonna say I agree with Mo. I'm not like I don't have that agenda kind of thing. Because for me, as long as Arsenal win, I don't give a shit what other teams do. But turns out even Mo has a thing with Juventus. So it turns out it's not even
everyone's the same in their own relative way.
Everyone is the same, yeah.
Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, I don't know.
Everyone has that club where
last season Arsenal scored 9 goals in the first 5 games compared to 8 this season. Teams were tougher this season. 100%, yes.
Again, and I said this again. I said the start of the season last season is comparative to this one, and we've, like the person said, we've got much tougher fixtures this season.
Yeah, but you know what the problem is the way you play. I haven't seen Arsenal being the team that I would say dominant. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't think the start of this season is a continuation of how dominant Arsenal were in the last 18 games of last season. Does that make
No.
sense, people?
It's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Makes
Like
sense.
I like, for me, it's like it's not a continuation. It's a stop and then a restart, complete restart of the way you play, the way you approach games.
Yeah, it's a question. It's not a
Like,
negative. It's just
and then that's just me analyzing. Like but Man City, for example, it's a continuation of the freaking form they were on to last season. They continue.
Yeah, but
Chelsea, a little bit of continuation of the form in the last 16 games. Arsenal are the only team that completely, and maybe and there are many reasons, there are many justifications for why. Different teams, the difficulty of teams you played in the beginning of the season, the circumstances of the red cards, blah, 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 all of this, right? Odegaard is not there, but I can only assess what's in front of me, right?
Yeah.
So I am
and what's
waiting
in front of you, Mo? What's in front of you is we got 7 out of 9 points away against Villa, Spurs, and
Yeah,
City.
which is
You
fair
mentioned
enough.
earlier Liverpool made a statement win against United away from home. I think us getting 7 out of 9 is a statement result, in my opinion. I don't know. I just feel it is.
We'll go into Chelsea after this. UG and Antoine, thank you so much for the super chat. And then he came with another super chat. Of course, he's saying, for the Arsenal fans, do you think our squad, and there's a super chat here. Do you think our squad is better than Liverpool 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 21? If yes, you should win the title. No excuses.
I don't think
He's saying our
No,
squad.
yeah,
That means he's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, our squad
I don't
better
think
than
it is.
Liverpool.
Can someone answer this in the chat, people? Yes or no? There's 500 people here. Yes or no? Also,
No.
guys, we are 8 likes away from 200. We
No.
really need in the stream to have 300 likes. Let me just put like button, people, underneath the live chat. Like the video. It looks like thumbs up underneath the live chat. Hit the like button. We cannot be 500 people and not even on 200 likes. Come on, we need 300 likes.
Mo, factually, to answer this question, this is 4-year span, right? 4 seasons in a row. They won within this, I think.
Champions League and a Premier League and
They won 4 trophies
cups.
or 5 trophies. The factually is no.
But within this, by the way, 3 Champions League finals, just to let you know.
Yeah,
so that has to be in context.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Contextually is nowhere near the same.
Yeah, and also
they aren't close though.
Also,
they aren't.
No. So also we've got the benefits of hindsight here as well. So we've known what they achieved. So it's easier to always look at them and go, actually, we know what the benchmark is. This Arsenal team has achieved nothing. If let's say the same squad stays together and wins 2 Premier Leagues and God please gives us 1 Champions League, then you'd go, actually, yes, it is as good as that.
And you can compare, yeah. But right now, there's no comparison whatsoever.
It's always hard. Yeah, it's always hard to go. This is at this point.
I think he's done this
with the hindsight.
I think exactly, good point. I think his point is the timing, the time span. I think that's what he's trying to allude to. He's saying in the last 4 or 5 years, is our team the same quality as Liverpool's?
No, points wise, no. Points wise, no. Achievements, no. I mean, I think it will be delusion for us to say this team was as good as our Liverpool's team, because what they achieved, the amount of points they accumulated in doing that as well, and the style of football.
Rodri gone, Odegaard gone. Can Liverpool be favorites?
I like this comment. This is it.
By the way,
I'm
telling
manager,
you guys
though,
something. I tell you guys, and I know there are a lot of Liverpool fans are watching us now. Liverpool love the underdog mentality way more than Arsenal. Broski, they love it, bro. If people say that Arsenal love the underdogs, watch Liverpool fans. 99%. Well, if we win it, we are against everybody. The odds, bro, they love the underdog mentality. But then they were top of the league last season with the easiest run in, right? And they said we're not even favorites. And they lost at the end in hindsight. But bro, have some chest. Back your team, bro. You have the easiest run in.
If
and
we
you're
were
top
talking
of
about
the
Liverpool,
league, bro.
talk about.
And by the way, Arsenal were still playing Man City at that time.
I said this, Mo. They seem to think that changing their manager with the same squad means they have a process, and that can take them 2 years and a year to go to the top again. No, it doesn't. The whole reason why you employ that manager is because the club had the belief he can grow the team and move up the league. Else, why did you employ him then?
One of Raya, Martinelli, Timber, Calafiori got injured. I think it is David Raya, actually. I think so. I think it's David Raya. He got injured. He was limping. There is video of him limping outside.
He's been good.
All four of them,
I don't think it's bad injury, bro.
All 4 of them came off injured in that game. All
cramps. Cramps.
Okay. I didn't.
Apart from David Raya, who had a bruise and he was limping on with
he
a
was
bandage on his knee.
Touched the tunnel.
Easier games show how a manager without Odegaard. how he manages without Odegaard. We'll see that easier. I actually want to see Arsenal in the next games. How they're going to create chances? Who's creating chances? Is it going to be Martinelli? Is it going to be Saka? Is it going to be... Anyway, we really need to move on from Arsenal, people. I don't know why Arsenal are always the talk, but they
biggest
are
club in the world.
Hold on, they
Conspiracy.
are teasing Saka,
Conspiracy.
bro. Chelsea, though. It's not conspiracy. I'm going to repeat this again for the 500 people that are here. I'm going to repeat this again because I like to repeat it every season, right? You have the longest serving manager from the top 6 without winning the league at the current moment. You are the closest team to win the league behind Manchester City, right? You are the team now that are at the end of their process in the current moment that you should win, right? So that, and you are the longest team waiting to win the Champions League or the Premier League from the top 6 apart. Sorry, forget Spurs. I'm sorry. They aren't a top team. I'm going to repeat that again. They aren't a top team. That is why Arsenal are a talking point. If Chelsea were in a title race, I promise you, it will be always Chelsea. Like Liverpool, by the way, and Man City. We were always talking Liverpool at that time.
We were talking points when we were finishing 8th because we were the
No, you weren't.
To be fair,
no, yes, because we were the banter. We were the
only
AFTV.
We were the
banter club. People
only
were
only AFTV.
No. Bro, listen. AFTV, but listen, people used to say Arsenal lost, time to load up AFTV. AFTV blew
I am
up
telling you, the first time I went on the football terrace, I am telling you guys, and here is the thing. Maybe people didn't do work with me. First time I went on the football terrace was December 2020 or 2021. 2021. So the season 21-22. Who was going for a quadruple? Liverpool. Every single stream when Liverpool win or lose, Man City, Liverpool. Do you remember that title race? I was on the football terrace when I was doing match reactions. We were talking about Antonio Conte. We were talking about Liverpool. We were talking about, was it Thomas Tuchel at that time, Ches? That quadruple season? Yes.
Yeah.
We were talking about Thomas Tuchel. We were talking about the Lukaku thing. We were talking about Liverpool. Arsenal, it came at the end where you fumbled top 4. But during the season, when I think you were 4th, we weren't talking about it. I remember that in the football terrace. I wasn't talking about it. I was invited. We were talking about different things. Arsenal came into the picture more when you guys out of nowhere were 5 points ahead of Man City or 7 points ahead. Do you remember that season? The season after, 22-23. This is when I started going on the football terrace talking about, oh my God, Arsenal are favorites. This is when Arsenal are scary. Terry's videos came to life. Arsenal are scary. Guys, you have to admit it. Anyway, Chelsea. Ches, I'm going to start this segment quickly and with easy question. Did Maresca prove people wrong?
Did he?
10 points out of 15, right? In the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Jackson is scoring goals. Palmer playing at the 10. People doubted him. The GA is already racking up, right? I know that some of them got in the one game. Sancho playing better, or maybe not, but better than Man United days, to be honest. Your defense is getting better. Didn't you concede the same goals as Man City, actually, or less? If I'm not mistaken. Chelsea conceded the same goals as Man City. So 5 goals as well against you. 2 of them against the strongest team in the league, Man City. Come on.
Now they're the strongest team, huh?
Yeah, they're definitely the strongest team in the fucking league.
I'm just being silly. I'm being pedantic there.
Yeah. In terms of proving we were wrong from the start of the season, definitely. A lot of people said that Chelsea wouldn't be not much of an improvement. Our squad's overrated. They'll be surprised if we get top 4. And now, 4 or 5 games into the season, I'm seeing a lot of these same people now say Chelsea can make top 4. Your players are improving, and the style of play looks good. So it's very interesting how in 5 games people can change their mind, isn't it? But apart from that, I would say it's looking good. Wouldn't say great, wouldn't say poor, I'd say good. 10 points out of 15. The drop points we had against City, arguably, that Ashraf said earlier, we agreed we probably should have got a draw at that game. I think if we played them now, I think we'd get a draw. Because I think the way we're playing more into the system, the confidence in the team, I think we'd be a lot more competitive. But we didn't. And the other draw against Palace, again, One of those games, missed loads of chances and then had one chance scored. That's what we saw last season. So the difference between this season and last season is we had a lot more results like the Palace result. We're playing well, don't score. The opposition score, we lose. Forest, Wolves, Everton's, Man United's, the list goes on. We're playing well, we don't score our goals, we draw or lose the games. And the difference this season is against Wolves in the second half, against Bournemouth the whole game, we ride our luck and our quality shines through because the attack you brought in the summer. That's the key difference. So if we're using those 5 games and that example for the next few games, 2 games at home in the league and next few games against bigger teams, if that continues, then after 10 games now, we can start to see a pattern of play. Start seeing in terms of where we're on the table. So yeah, it's positive. It's good. And a lot of Chelsea fans are confident. I think you'll see a lot more chest if we can get good results against Newcastle and Liverpool, bigger teams. Then you'll see Chelsea fans really come out of their shell. And our rivals look at us even more differently. But I think for now, stay grounded. We're doing okay to good. And Maresca's he's showing to be a very good manager in terms of he knows what he wants. He's very confident. He doesn't leave a lot of vague statements or ambiguous kind of press conference where people are a bit disgruntled, not sure what he's saying. He's very clear. Even with Mudryk, he said, they asked him a question about Mudryk. He said, how's Mudryk today? He was like, Mudryk's Mudryk. He needs to improve. Full stop. That's it. So I like that for my manager. I like the way he's confident. And I hope that we can continue in this vein. I hope.
So I was, sorry. I was going to say very quickly, I was one of those people who didn't have belief, and Ches would remember me saying, I didn't have belief in...
What the actual F, bro?
What the hell? What's just happening?
Bro, I just checked the stats. Arsenal have conceded the second most shots in the league overall against them.
Yeah, but that's because we've been...
And you are 14th in the league in terms of XG conceded.
Yeah,
we are.
What the I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
And Tottenham, I think, are like top 5.
David Raya is doing wonders. David Raya must be doing wonders then.
Let's not talk about Arsenal, but no. One thing, a lot of shots.
No. I was actually, I'm not going back to Arsenal. I was talking about the defense of Chelsea, how it improved from the first game, second game to now
but
not conceding a lot of chances.
Can you do it pre-City game? Because obviously the second half we saw it happen. So if you do it pre-City, I feel it might be a lot closer.
I can try though.
It's 24 shots.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But I was one of those people that didn't believe in Chelsea, right? I still don't have...
How many shots did you concede against the City? I'm sorry, say that again.
It feels like 33 altogether, something stupid like
Even if you do 33, you're way off. You are still about behind 10th or something. But anyway, go ahead.
And then, there's the Brighton game again where we lost the play. But anyways, the point I'm saying was that I don't still believe yet in this Chelsea team. Mainly because, again, you know my views on the midfield. I'd have to say that again, but we'll see if they prove to be wrong. But also, I think Ches alluded to it. It's the next few games where my eye will be on, okay, how does Chelsea manage against those teams like Brighton at home, which I expect them to be Brighton at home because Brighton can be hot and cold. But after that, it's the Newcastle, the Liverpool. Basically, it's the same challenge everyone had for Arsenal the season we finished second. It's the same challenge I will have for Chelsea in terms of how they perform against those teams. And also, I mean, Ches says something about Maresca, which I'm impressed with that start.
I'm so impressed, by the way. I'm so impressed as well.
And the reason why I'm impressed is that I said the biggest challenge he's going to have as a manager, for me, is in an X and O's on the pitch. Because I think tactically, most managers can actually build the same tactics. They all do UFB license training. They might have nuances, but most of them, on the whole, can analyze a game far greater than we can and can build tactics, complex tactics. It's going to be the people management. How does he deal with all the egos in the dressing room? How does he deal with a Mudryk, for example, who's 65 mil and now isn't going to play a game? How does he deal with all that meshing in? The fact that he's being forthright and saying what is on his mind, for me, is a good thing. And I don't hope it's just. I hope Chelsea obviously get relegated. I'm not gonna be. Oh, I hope this happens. This good happen to Chelsea. No, but from a Chelsea fan, what I'd hope is that actually it continues to keep that momentum in terms of having players who are on the bench who feel they want to play, keeping them motivated and keeping them from not affecting the dressing room, because that's what a manager's ultimate job is, to motivate those players. And if he starts to lose those, then that's for me is where my sort of eye on Maresca as a new manager, in the same way it was for Arteta, will be.
Yeah, 100%. And Ashraf said before, or you might have said it. Sorry, Ashraf, you go after something about PTSD and Chelsea fans, just like Arsenal fans. Yeah. When we had a decent form last season, everyone was like to turn the corner, and then literally we'd have like a 5-game run where it's like 2 draws, 2 losses, and a win, and then we're sitting there in 8th, and then you've got Chelsea fans giving fake hope. So the next 2 home games are massive, because that would be Brighton at home and Nottingham Forest at home, who, by the way, are doing very well this season. Both teams, especially Forest, doing very, very well this season. Went to Brighton, got a draw, beat Liverpool, of course, and are playing good football this season. So if we can get wins out of those, then we'll be looking into the big 6 games, try and get a few scalps, and we'll be in a very good position coming into about the 10-game mark, coming up to nearly a quarter of the season. So what's that, 12 games? So yeah.
For me, to be honest with you, I'm looking at this Chelsea team. Just let me do this because someone sent a super chat. Antoine is saying, I'm a Liverpool fan. I meant your Arsenal squad. Okay, Antoine, thank you for clarifying. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. So you're a Liverpool fan, so you know Arsenal aren't a better squad than Liverpool. I'm looking at this Chelsea and I'm seeing improvement in defense, which was questionable, right? Chelsea now attack. A lot of people are having questions over did they gel? Are they good enough? And Chelsea's attack look okay. Cole Palmer creating for Jackson. Madueke is creating. Sancho now is coming into the picture. You know what I mean? Kunku off the bench look solid and everything. I think if Jackson stays the same, and I was asked a question yesterday, who's a better striker than Jackson in the league? Is it only Haaland and Isak? Is there someone better than him? Is Oli Watkins? HUSAM asked me that. Is Oli Watkins better than him?
Yeah. I think Watkins should be given that benefit of the doubt. I think he's better.
Yeah, and I think, listen, the Duran looks like a cleaner striker of the ball than he is, but we don't know the overall game, so I'm not even going to put him anywhere near that. But I think, yeah, if you're asking that question, I think, yes, it's difficult to see. Maybe Jota. Jota will be another one who.
Yeah, I would put. Jota. Sorry, I forgot
a better striker than he is. But I think once you start going down the levels, you don't get many who be as good as
I think
what he could be.
Yeah, I think there's a stat going around, Terry should say, that apparently since he joined the club, he has more non-paper goals than Saka.
Someone said Xerxes. Oh my!
And he has the same GA as Salah since last season. Again, without penalties, because Jackson doesn't take penalties for us. Mm-hmm. And we got loads of penalties last season. You saw Cole Palmer's numbers. So I think,
a lot of those were goals in bunches. They weren't spread out. That's the only problem with Jackson, is that he can score, let's say, a hat trick in one game and then go 3 games without scoring, then score 2, then go without scoring. So I think
that's the issue.
Sometimes we need to contextualize.
He needs to be more. That's the thing. Like people said to me yesterday when I was praising him, like, "Oh, but you wanted Osimhen." Yeah, I'll still take Osimhen tomorrow. I'm not going to rest on my laurels because he hasn't been consistent enough for me to say he's second best striker in the league or he's this and that. Cole Palmer, I could say, because he did it in a very poor season. He stood out, had an exceptional season, played well in the Euros. I can rely on him. I don't know yet if I can rely on Jackson because he hasn't proven to me yet. Because in games where he needed to get that goal or get that chance in, that was between us getting 4th and 6th in the day. So it's not all on him. It's not his fault we finished 6th in the league. But at the end of the day, when you play for Chelsea Football Club and we still have high standards, because not that long ago we won a Champions League, you need to make sure that you're always going for the best players. And yes, he's put up good numbers, but like Mo said, if you continue it, then everyone has to apologise, even me. But
yeah, I think what's
the thing about we have no evidence to suggest that he's going to continue this, by the way. No apologies, not by the way. This notion that we have to apologize.
He does it, we have to see.
Yeah, like we have no evidence to say that Jackson is gonna give me 20 plus goals this season. I have no evidence. If he does it, it doesn't mean we were wrong. It meant this notion people like to do that you have to apologize. It meant that he improved under Maresca. Very simple. Like there is a difference. I'm gonna tell you, if Nunes, let me guys explain to you. If Kai Havertz turned out to go back to the Leverkusen form that he was, Now, these apologies are needed. Why? Because you doubted that he goes back. Because we have an evidence to show that Kai Havertz had this in his locker, had this consistency, had this creativity. Darwin Núñez had a season at Benfica where he got 30 plus goals. Nicholas Jackson, there is no evidence to suggest that he's at 25 plus goals. That means
people really.
come on, Ches. Now there's no.
I just give you because there are apologies needed because the amount of I don't like this visionism we're doing right now. Like we're acting like people all of a sudden rated him. Last season,
I rated him.
Poor season, right? One second, moment. And he was one of the reasons, or one of the few pillars of players who got slaughtered the most. He's rubbish. He falls over his feet.
But rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Huh?
Rightfully so.
No, Jackson, not rightfully so. That's
rightfully
what I'm saying to you. You're on the angle.
Okay, hold on.
No one really rated.
This is revisionism. You're doing revisionism.
No,
you are.
Can you clarify?
No, I actually agree.
Okay,
I agree with
hold on. Let me ask Shez a question. You don't think it was rightfully so criticizing Jackson for some of the chances he missed that could have won you a title?
Criticizing him and calling him rubbish are two different things.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you're.
I
that's
criticize the guy if he didn't. I just said I'll take Oshman tomorrow. I just said that. I'll say it again. I'll take Oshman tomorrow. But I'm not saying that he's crap at the same time. Two things can be true. I still think he can improve, but I still think he's a quality player who can improve. But if he's not there yet and my team needs to progress, then why wouldn't I bring another striker in? But the issue I have is people calling him rubbish, crap, can't eat, and that's why I don't like the disingenuous nature of it.
I think this is where I agree with Shez. I think you criticizing him for last season, and there was deserved criticism when he was missing chances, and I think there was a point in the season where he had the most like clear-cut chances that was missed or whatever it is. I think that's okay. But people who wrote him off, I'm assuming that's what Shez is referring to, and that's what I think is wrong as well. For those who wrote him off, right? Fair enough. If you wrote him off because you don't think he's going to be good enough, that's fine. But where Shez is correct is those who wrote him off and said he's never going to reach that level, if he does end up continuing this form until the end of the season, then you were wrong by writing him off because you said he's not going to reach that level. Turns out he did reach that level. And by the way, that's the exact same argument I'm having for Kai Havertz, right? I'm saying it's a purple patch, but if he keeps that form until the end of the season, of course, I'll have to put my hands up and say, I was wrong, and that was not just a purple patch.
The same way, I don't think Jackson, just like he doesn't think Havertz is going to
Hold on, what form, Ashraf, Habibi, what form is Havertz in? The 0 passes
18,
in 90 minutes?
I'm talking about from the time he started playing.
Okay.
Stop. From the time he started playing as a striker, he has 18 GA in like 22, 23 games. As I said, I don't want...
Ashraf, you are proven right this season because Havertz is not being good this season.
He has been good
2 goals and an assist. 2 goals and an assist from 5
games. He hasn't been good this season.
He has been good this season. I think. Okay, so
he has.
If you go
back to Havertz, go ahead.
Yeah, let's go back to Havertz, please. Yeah.
No, okay.
I would love to have a stream about Kai Havertz, but anyway.
I'm just saying. By the way, I'm one of those people who didn't think because the way Jackson missed some clear-cut chances is the same way I saw Darwin Núñez miss it. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I think.
Why are you coming back to him?
That's why I think about Kai Havertz the same way. That's why I agree with you on Kai Havertz. But I'm saying the way I saw Jackson miss some chances last season is the same way I've seen Havertz and I've seen Nketiah and I've seen even Darwin Núñez miss some chances Liverpool, which is why I never thought that that's something they can remove. I thought that'll always be in their game. But if he fixes that, and if he improves on converting some of these big chances he has this season, then of course you have to apologize and say, yeah, we were wrong 100%. Because maybe it was a first season syndrome. People didn't even give him any chance. Like first season, nobody gave him like that first season in the Premier League, first season in a very difficult team that finished 12th the previous season. Nobody gave him that sort of safety cushion. Everyone said you better perform or you get that criticism, right? So if he does perform this season, you have to give him the flowers, bro.
And to add to that, I mean, to that point, I mean, the classic player that I remember was Robert Perez. When he first came, everyone said he was too soft, he was a donkey, never going to make it as an Arsenal player. Ended up being one of the best wingers we've ever had. So you're right in that. I think.
Olu, you don't even have to go that far. You can ask Shez on his own legend. Drogba was labeled the same way when he joined.
When
Drogba,
got like
I remember that.
He was horrendous in his first season when he came from Marseille when they won the League Cup. I know he scored like the winning goal in the finals of the Carling Cup or whatever it was.
But
it wasn't to that level. It wasn't to that level that they were hyping him to be. So, bro,
I do remember that as well. I'll say this. Look, I think. I don't want to say two things can be true at the same time because I think that's overused statements. But I think Jackson last season, there were periods where even Chelsea fans were absolutely slaughtering him. I remember even when you guys beat Tottenham away and he scored the hat-trick, people were saying he's missed so many chances that he should have scored. And if he just knew how to hold his run, like he'd have scored more goals, right? And I think
that was a funny game though. He scored a hat-trick, but he missed 4 sitters. That was funny.
That was insane. And then there was the Arsenal game where at the Emirates where he went through on goal and then did something absolutely crazy.
He should have scored that game.
He should have scored.
He should have scored that goal. Yeah,
I would have changed the game because I think at that point I think it was only like
it was 0-0.
1-0 or 2-0.
No, it was
no. He missed the sit in the 0-0 thing.
No.
I'll check it.
You know the one he beat us 5-0. He went through on goal before you put your second.
Yeah, he dribbled past like 3 players.
I think at that point it was 1-0. If he scores that, you know.
Oh, it was 1-0. Yeah, Trossard.
He went near post when he should have gone far post, basically. And I remember like I think what a lot of friends thought was that his decision making when it came to striking the ball is just weird. That's the only way I could put it. It's weird. Like he does things which are unconventional in terms of what you expect a striker to do. And that one was like a microcosm of who he was as a player last season. Now, the question will be, has he changed? Is he doing a lot? I guess my thing is he doing a lot of things out of instinct right now? And if it is eventually he'll regress to a mean in terms of who he is as a player, or has he actually now turned the corner in terms of the training he's been doing, the practices he's been doing? And also, I mean, again, I have to be fair. The second season, he now understands the speed of the game. He understands what's wanted, what is wanted from him. The only thing I'll say though for Chelsea fans is don't be hypocrites, because I do remember a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, that people were saying actually Jackson should not be playing and it should be Nkunku playing, and then he swapped to Jackson should be playing. So this is where again for Maresca there's going to be this challenge of you've got a player in Nkunku who is obviously more experienced, and there's going to be clamour for him to play. And right now, his position probably is going to have to be striker because he's not going to displace Palmer as the attacking midfielder. Can Jackson continue this? And if he continues this, then everyone deserves to just give an apology in terms of how we doubted him.
And then Chelsea are going to go in January and still sign Austin.
Exactly.
Probably, that's a good thing.
You know that, but that will destroy Jackson's.
It will,
of course,
career at forward. You know that, right?
If by then, let me just finish up soon. But if by then, he doesn't continue this form, because this form is ridiculous. He's got like 6 GA in like for 4 or 5 games. It's crazy. But let's say by January he has 14 goals.
How many goals does he have now, Shez? Do you know exactly?
He's
or
no?
4 goals.
So let's just say the next 4 months he gets 8 more goals, okay? And he's on what, 12 goals, right? That's very, very good. That's 2 off his last year tally. I think the club
6 GA. That's
what I'm saying. So if he hits, let's say he hits 20 GA by January, I think the club will make a good decision to maybe get a Duran instead, because Duran will be more of an understudy. You can trust Jackson. You know what? He got 20 GA this year, 16, 17 last year. That's good trajectory. And you're 22, 23, Fairs. If he's
100%.
on this missing chances, and as a result of that, the team's playing well, and he's letting us down, and we're 5th in the league, 6th, then we'll bring an Arsenal. So it's on him. And I think that, to Olu's point, the reason why I think he's playing well is because we didn't get the striker. I think he's one of those confidence players that when people talk about him, he went online, opened Mikel, and literally quote Instagrammed his story and said, like, shut the hell up, basically, about him starting his finishing. And he's come and scored a brace against West Ham. And that Trivela shot, that's not a guy who's not confident. That's a very confident guy.
Can I say just one thing on a same notes for difference? Who would have thought that, was it 5 games into the season, if I said to you the top goal scorers would be Erling Haaland, then Luis Diaz, Nicholas Jackson, Mbeumo, and then Duran?
I would laugh at you.
That was mad.
Diaz
and Jackson is insane.
Especially Diaz.
5 goal scorers right now.
Especially Diaz, to be honest. Bro, Jackson has 6 GA is crazy, actually, at the current moment. So he's exceeding the number of games he played, which GA is crazy, actually, in my opinion. Guys.
And I don't even think did he score in the Wolves game, the 6-2? Did he score?
He assisted.
I know Madueke had a hat trick.
He
assisted Cole Palmer for the goal. He heads his.
So without scoring in that game, he has 4 goals. It's amazing. Yeah.
Guys, let's get to 300 likes. 40 likes away from 300. And also, I want to appreciate everyone that supported the channel, super chat the channel, shares his channel in the description as well, and his TikTok. Go and follow him. I'm gonna try to get Shez to 1K on his channel, YouTube channel. Also, Ashraf channel is in the description as well, making his debut. Brilliant having you here, Ashraf. Absolutely fantastic. Tonight, guys, we have Rivals Rumble at 11. If Chelsea, what about you?
What about my channel?
What do you have? What do you have?
I've got nothing.
Tell the people what you have.
I've got nothing.
Now you got. Here you go.
Listen, if you want,
tell the people what do you have. Tell the people what you have. What do you have now? Tell the people.
What do I have? I have this channel, Footy Judge Olu, basically.
Yeah, Olu back tonight with the man them for Rivals Rumble.
If you
Everyone loves
want to
that
see
show.
me, yeah.
Now, Rivals Rumble is one of my favorite shows, actually. It is going to be amazing and fantastic today. We'll talk more Chelsea, Man City. Dio is going to be here. Will is going to talk about Spurs and their chances, of course. Chez is going to be there. Jay is going to be there. Hopefully, Ahmed. I'm not sure if Man United played or not. But I appreciate everyone that is here. Hit that like button, people. This will take you to the football terrace. And we'll see you guys soon. We're out of here, people.
Love, Paul. Peace.